Hi guys, happy solar eclipse. I love this eclipse actually. This is a very big, powerful eclipse in Aries. This is all about the I am and being able to embody more of our higher selves in a easier way since there's just major Kundalini energy, that's going to be kickstarting with Neptune going into Aries. This is, bringing all of the energy from the feet to the head. Aries is the head. Pisces is the feet. And, we're going to be able to free ourselves in massive ways. And remember, that version of ourselves, from the golden age, from before the Kali Yuga and all of that, and activate more of our junk DNA, which wasn't actually junk DNA. So I'm going to go through all the signs and everything, and then, talk a little bit about the eclipse. And yeah. Okay, so first off, we'll talk about this Aries energy. Aries is bold, it's courageous, it's the pioneer, it is fiery, it is, a little impulsive. It kind of knows what it wants and just goes after it. It doesn't, ask any questions. If you know any Aries, they just are who they are and they do what they do. They don't really ask permission or anything. And that's kind of the energy that we're all getting into because we're all claiming our sovereignty right now. And the more that we recognize like how much power we get by bringing the power back to ourselves, we're ending an age of where there was just so much victim perpetrator, and pretty much so many of our dynamics where we gave somebody else the authority and we played the victim. And then sometimes we switched. And when you just realize that you have the power at the end of the day, it ends that whole narrative and you can make changes faster. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're not giving any of your power away. You're going within, you're realizing what you want. You're facing your triggers. You're becoming more of yourself so you can anchor that bigger self into this body and realize, how much more you can how much more you can manifest first of all, and how much easier it is to just like live your best life by, giving yourself the power. You also, when you give yourself the power, you're not going to act in, passive aggressive ways. There's so many times we give ourselves excuses and because we give our power away and we're like, oh, I can't because of this person or that person. And we just let that be an excuse. But I mean, it's going to be hard to ignore. Like, we're giving ourselves the power back. So we're not going to be doing that anymore. And the more that you just realize, like, where you're like angry and where you're getting triggered, it's probably one of those dynamics where you can evolve out of it. So we're remembering who we are in such a big way when we do that too. We're remembering, like we're healing ourselves, we're setting ourselves free from all those like karmic loops and patterns and all those like the negative just, things that we just got caught in. We're releasing it so we can, claim more of our own space and our own abilities, in this right here, right now, um, to be in the present moment. And I love this because Mars is in Cancer. So the masculine energy is very compassionate. We're going to be taking action more towards, with our heart in tune, with our soul in mind, and how we're feeling and how we want to feel. Mars square Chiron, like purging all these wounds. That's why this week was triggering. That's why this week was triggering. So, like when we recognize those wounds and those triggers, like just think of it as being like catalyzed and like, like a burning a paper, you're really setting it free from yourself. Because, and this could, I feel like the wounds from the deep, deep past have just been coming up, from our entire lifetime. So it's important to just kind of let it all come up because again, you're kind of like seeing where you maybe buried yourself down, where you can actually just look at it and just realize the courage that you can have now, you know? where we can act more out of our integrity instead of out of any of the wounds or victim mode or being passive aggressive. And that's like, giving ourselves like putting ourselves back on the throne to act for the highest good of all instead of like, you know, acting out of wounding in any way. So recognize where that might be still, happening like during the eclipse. And, the eclipse is usually majorly pretty active still. Like, yeah, this is starting off a whole 6 month cycle. So that will be kind of a theme, but like, highly, highly active, the, and just like bumpy energy, like very intense energy still. Not very, it depends how well you are at using energy and how hard this is hitting you. But until like mid-April, I guess, like 2 weeks after. So just be aware, like, and just be excited for that. Like you get to figure out more of who you are, and that's just going to set you off, on such a better path and make you so much stronger in this new era. And I love Mercury at 0 degrees because this is us finding our voice in a whole new way. We're realizing that we create worlds, we create our world with how we think, how we speak, how we talk, even through our sound, even through our vibration. A lot of us, our vibration says more than like what we're actually saying. And like me, that's actually one of my designs. Like people learn a lot more with what tone I'm in, and I can't hide what tone I'm into either. So that's the annoying thing. But like people learn a lot more almost like through the vibration and the way I use my voice versus what I'm actually saying. So you can look into Gene Keys for that or human design for that. And you can kind of see if that's kind of a thing. You see it in astrology too, but like, Gene Keys like actually says it. And then like, I use both systems to kind of like bring Gene Keys into astrology because it just kind of gives it like another layer and more depth. But yeah, and Mercury is retrograde though. So that's probably a good thing because so we won't like, impulsively say something right away. We are going inward and we are looking at, instead of like getting triggered right away, like and blurting something out like, fuck you. We're like probably arguing in our minds a little bit. Like that's like facing the frustrations within and like, or, maybe some of us are looking for a fight. It has been very spicy energy, but it's been kind of fun. It's never too serious, like, not usually. Like, I don't know. I feel like Aries is usually like baby fights, even if it's like a little feisty or whatever. But it's not like, it's like it can be petty sometimes, but we're recognizing, with that, at least with getting fired up with our voice, like how we can be free to express ourselves instead of, suppressing ourselves or being quiet, like where we were quiet before, or if you were a naturally passive person before, this is making you set those boundaries, speak your mind, not put it up with any more bullshit, from anybody, because that's kind of what karma is actually. It's their bullshit or it's your bullshit, whatever bullshit, like you just, it's you getting over the bullshit and setting yourself free because you don't have time for it anymore. You have stuff you want to do. You have your own stuff that you're interested in that you want to do. And, you can speak up now with your voice and set yourself free. And, that is, empowering with Venus retrograde right now. We're majorly clearing out relationships, we're rebalancing relationships, we're finding out new dynamics and everything, and speaking more of our truth, more of our authentic truth. But also at the same time, we're being pushed towards like fated soulmate connections. And so if we need to let go, if we're letting go of a relationship, it is probably for the best. Depends where this is in your chart too. But never mind. Eclipses, it's always for the best. If something leaves your life during an eclipse, it is always for the best. That is not your highest timeline. That is not for your highest good. You need to let that go so you can see the next thing, the next path, make room for who else needs to come in. But yeah, this Mars in Cancer too. Like, I feel like this Mars, just the whole Mars retrograde in general and Mars square Chiron has definitely like empowered our solar plexus. So we're already like really getting into the I am and, going through the solar plexus awakening, the solar plexus mutation. So we can lead like, from our soul more. We're following our deeper desires because it's what our soul like is craving. We're not, I mean, literally, if we don't follow like those solar, like if we're not being empowered to go after our desires, people aren't going to live, as long, because that is the life force, with Neptune going in here too. The life force energy needs to flow. There needs to be a lot more freedom and everything. And, once you do that, then you do set yourself free where from, places and things where you wouldn't act out of compassion, where you wouldn't, because you're going where you want to go and you're being who you want to be. So it's time to just be so bold with, setting yourself free so you can come here and do what you really wanted to do. And, that's really going to just like and you can start out small, you start out small a little bit, but then it just feels so good, when you start like really strengthening yourself in that way, speaking up a little bit more, setting those boundaries and saying what you want to do. Instead of putting anything off, just, when you need to say it, just say it and go do it and like, live your best life. And it feels, really good. And it helps you live in that moment to moment flow and, speak from your soul and your authentic truth more so than, versus like figuring it out with the ego and everything. Because the ego are Neptune's totally dissolving a lot of egos. Oh my gosh. I'm already seeing it so much like with actors and everything. They're already very unhinged people. But I mean, and there's a giant wall and veil and there has always been, so you guys can't actually see how crazy most of them are. But I mean, that's not gonna be able to be hidden, much longer. So that's gonna be exciting. Like that's exciting in general. We can see that they're just like us, they're just like as unhinged and they're not all perfect at all. So that'll be kind of fun. Yeah, there's already been, I don't even know if, anyway. Okay, so yeah, we're getting in tune more with with, Neptune that's going into Aries the next day. We're going to be able to be in tune with the universal flow. And this is where the masculine energy is definitely getting upgraded and getting in tune with the sacred feminine, instead of men just being like, oh, what is she talking about? That's just woo woo speak. What soul connection, sure, all of that. Like they're actually going to start feeling these things. So, they're going to be, since they're going to be more in tune with their compassion and with their emotions and creativity and yeah, more of that divine masculine coming online. And it'll take a while. It's not going to happen, immediately and everything. This is a long transit, but it's starting now. So that's exciting. But if you've been through a Kundalini awakening, it is very intense. So if you know anybody kind of going through a Kundalini awakening, and if you want to know what it literally is that sexual energy that runs up and down your spine and your entire body. It feels amazing. Like I went through an intense one and it lasted for literally a couple months and like yeah, it was intense. It was amazing. And you changed completely. Your diet changes, your interests changes, all your relationships change, the way you want to live changes, like everything changes. Like you just become a better, more aware person and you start like really attuning to what you really do like from that soulful place versus from the ego space. So anything that you kind of like went towards from the ego is actually going to, you'll probably let go of it. But anyway, whenever the Kundalini happens is when the Kundalini happens. But yeah, I love how, you know, yeah, just this Aries energy, there is going to be more compassion with Neptune, more compassion, more forgiveness, more creativity, taking action more towards creativity and creating our own world. That's going to be so important. Like we're going to want to fight in, and I don't know why I'm getting into Neptune into Aries already when I need to make a separate video for that. Um, but creating your own world is going to be the most important thing because otherwise you're going to be constantly getting lost in creating other people's worlds or creating other people, helping other people with their battles. Like you have to get in tune with yourself and realize how you can create your world. You can live like a life that's full of adventure and fun and freedom. And you have to like, just remove any obstacles that have been stopping you. And you remove those obstacles by like letting these wounds get triggered and freeing them so you can step into that more bold version of yourself and express yourself, know what you want, direct your energy towards what you want. That's everything about creation is just like, energy or no, your attention is worth money. Okay. So your attention, like just think of it like that. You need to direct your attention towards something towards you that's going to give you something. Otherwise, you're just going to be scrolling and making other people money. And, you can do that for a little bit, but have limits and everything. But the only way you're going to feel empowered in this energy is embodying your full, authentic self and running with it literally. But all this to say, masculine energy is going to be embodied more with the universal flow. So we're going to be able to take right action that is in harmony with all of the universal flow, that's in harmony with our hearts, that's co-creating with the universe and not in competition. And the more that you can kind of get out of the ego self and get into the heart and the flow, then you're going to have the universe at your back, like pushing you in that direction. So we're majorly going to be able to correct where the masculine has been out of balance, and the masculine has been out of balance since the age of Aries. The age of Taurus, do you know that they didn't even have any walls like around their cities? They had no weapons. There was no war. And, I guess it got carried on from the age of Aries into the age of Pisces with idealization and stuff. And yeah, going into the Kali Yuga and all of that. But yeah, I think we're going back more so into a time, and it's going to take a bit of time, obviously, into, a age of more peace, but it will take a while. Um, but it starts now with the life that you're creating. Your life can be peaceful or your life can be chaotic and focused on, all the chaos on the outside. And we all, as individuals, can decide that. There might be, big changes. I mean, there are going to be big changes and abrupt shifts and chaos in the world in general in the upcoming years. But we can determine like how well we handle all of that. Because we just have to know that the world is being turned upside down to balance this out, because the masculine energy has been so out of balance and not in tune with what is like the organic world of what is. So we're going through a complete paradigm shift, where the feminine, like the masculine couldn't exist without the feminine. We're kind of recognizing the importance of the feminine again, that it is the giving of life. I mean, like the feminine, like is coming back into ruling again. And that paradigm and not working with the feminine at all is completely upside down. So we're flipping that paradigm majorly. And hopefully it happens like peacefully. The more that we can get in tune with the feminine energy, the more it can happen peacefully. And hopefully we'll realize that war isn't necessary actually. Um, it's just like a consciousness shift that's really necessary. And then, you know, like maybe the feminine should probably reign again for a little bit, unless, Earth, I mean, the pole, there might be a big shift with the poles shifting. I've heard of that, but like, hopefully it doesn't get that dramatic. So, but it can. So everyone tune into your feminine energy. Okay, so let's do Aries first. Oh, and I did forget to say too, I do love this Saturn-Uranus sextile. This is showing us new breakthroughs with what we value, going towards the new. There's new ways of making money. There's new ways of stability. There's new ways of even thinking about stability. But this can kind of, help us weave like this dream, and ground it into reality. This is how we can start planting the seeds for this big Piscean dream that we should all be looking at. Look at Pisces in your chart and see, what you can manifest there. So you can like, create a structure that is abundant and that is more in tune with your authentic expression. Okay, so let's do Aries. All right, Aries, this is a big new beginning when it comes to yourself and your identity. And it's like all about you. Literally, you can be a master manifester of your life, but you have to know who you are and what you want and to really get empowered to take more action. You're already usually pretty good at just knowing who you are and being who you like, just being, and I say just lean into that. But whatever new comes your way, new ways of being that is exciting and more expansive and bring that higher version of yourself, like here now, is what you should kind of embody. But yeah, this can bring a lot of things. This can bring, a destined relationship. This can bring a new opportunity, new career opportunity. Um, this can, like, you can be focused on your health and taking care of yourself even more so, but it's really all about like whatever you want and you following your passion. You get to reinvent yourself in a giant way right now. Like, this is a whole 35-year chapter starting, this year. And, you're just getting a little taste of it. So it's like whatever's like, if there's been anything that's been trying to leave your life right now that's been a little bit shaky, then maybe it's time to, really let it go because there can be new visions, new inspirations, new people, like whatever it just hasn't been working out. And you're going to be feeling that urge even more so, like turbo, turbo Aries mode to just like really like go after it. It's going to be more and more of releasing the mask of, where you had to even wear a mask in the first place. So you can just be you. And be in the spotlight. This is really your time to be in the spotlight too, in some way. Um, so meet new people, try something new. If you're holding yourself back in any way, this is the time to like really not anymore because you can realize when you take action instead of letting the wounds stop you, that it does heal the wounds. So there might be some just triggers, from home and family, and you're feeling, sensitive about yourself and your identity. And you could have really big dreams. Like pay attention to your dreams and what you're getting, because you could have a, just divine inspiration of something that you can build and actually make money with, make a lot of stability, like right there, Uranus in the second house. So make sure, yeah, have a dream journal. Um, know what, like you are getting all the power that you need to go achieve anything that you want, but you just have to have the belief in yourself. And so, yeah, I suggest like this full moon, really know what you want to achieve, set, some new goals, set some new desires, and see literally how far you go in the next year. I mean, yeah, this is like you're getting on a rocket ship. Okay. So, Ace of Wands came out, new passion. And this could be a relationship, this could be an opportunity, but either way, you're feeling passionate about it. It's exciting, it's fun. That's the direction. That's the direction that's going to feel very emotionally fulfilling to you. You're feeling it in your heart, like you're just like, in love, and it feels right to the core of your soul. So the challenge is, yeah, there might be some sort of tower moment or self-caused tower moment in this case because the tower came out reversed. So recognize where, yeah, if you're feeling that need where you might implode, like this is the time to start redirecting your energy like towards what you love and towards what you're passionate about so you don't implode. And voicing your opinion too. Because the Chariot came out, that's all about using your willpower in the right direction, but also when you go in the right direction, you'll find the right people. And it's important, you can have grounded communication with whoever you're around right now, to kind of go in the right, get on board, get balanced out again in whatever that relationship is. But know whatever direction you're going in at full steam ahead, even if you don't even know where it is, but you're excited about it and it feels good, like that's going to lead to more money and actually stability. So, and relationships. So I love that. And yeah, the sea serpent came out. That's all about like listening to those repressed emotions. And when they start coming to the surface, it's time to let them to come to the surface. Take you time and know that it's time to redirect your energy in some sort of new direction. Because if this sea serpent doesn't flow, and that's going to be you probably for the next like um 13 years with Neptune in Aries, like you have to let that creative energy flow through you into something. And whenever that creative energy gets blocked off is when like the self-caused tower moments will happen where you will implode, explode, whatever. Um, so yeah, it's time to do what you love and have a massive new beginning with yeah, starting like something big, something new. Well, I don't know. It actually doesn't have to be something big because like sometimes Uranus, like you could just be randomly curious towards something. And it could be something that you value and you don't even realize how it like opens up your world in a whole different way. Like Uranus is really fun because it because it takes you on a journey. Something random comes into your life and you're like, oh, that's exciting, that's different. And you go explore and it takes you to one thing to another, and you join a group or you meet somebody or like, and it's always like it's all over the place. It's not even linear, you know. So that's very, very exciting. All right. Thank you, Aries. Let's go to Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, this is happening in your 12th house. And as like major Taurus myself, I can say we're releasing, like feeling a little like, I don't know, like rage, like like random rage coming up for me. I don't know. Maybe you guys are probably better than me. But yeah, just like old, just repressed anger coming to the surface by looking at past situations and facing the past. But like with that, realize just the anger, it's like it's transforming you. It's setting you free. You're letting shit go. Because yeah, Chiron in the 12th, you're definitely facing wounds that, from the deep, deep past and psychological wounds that you didn't even see, like old ways of thinking, old ways of self-sabotage, you know, just all the inner obstacles that have gotten in the way. And it is powerful. It's like, we're going internal, going hermit mode so we can find that passion project, so we can find that deep motivation within us, so we can, feel that freedom with embodying more of our higher selves. And, just realize every little trigger or wound that held us back was actually stupid and not worth it. But you can majorly receive psychic downloads right now with Neptune going into the 12th house. You're basically going to be a psychic messenger for the collective for the next like 13 years. So you going and having your alone time and doing the spiritual practices and meditating and receiving, those giant downloads and, I mean, guidance for yourself, but guidance for yourself does help others, um, is really going to be useful. So make sure you're writing them down. You're figuring out how to, getting those psychic downloads is helping you inspire others in a really big way. So you can have major, major, major growth after this. You might be going through a spiritual awakening, um, and but you're freeing yourself from all the internal stuff. Um, so yeah, work. This is a great time to work on passion projects. This is a good time to journal. This is a good time to, I like passion projects more because like 12th house, you have to be doing something, you have to be working on something and creating is very therapeutic. So find your artist, your inner artist, or whatever you're passionate about and work on that. So you can have this like inner renewal in a big way. Um, so yeah. Okay, frog and spider. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, clearing out the clutter, the frog, majorly just clearing out the clutter so you can take a big leap into the new. And spider, it's like all this past stuff, and maybe you're connecting to past lives and everything. It's bringing all the pieces together. You can receive one psychic download that just takes everything that you know already and just brings it all together in like a whole new way. So realize that you're on your Dharma timeline, and the more that you listen to your inner world and yourself and receive, like you are getting all the information that you need to make your dreams come true, to weave your dreams together in a whole new way. So feel good. It's all about getting in receptive mode. King of Cups came out. Follow your heart, follow your compassion. You might be releasing somebody from the past, the Prince of Cups. But no, like whoever was being released, somebody like who's really, really meant for you is gonna come your way. Um, but yeah, it looks like you're majorly focused on work because that's kind of the direction you're being pointed in anyway, like towards work. Like there's giant hopes and dreams and visions for the future, and you could be receiving an abundance of downloads, but it leads to a lot of breakthroughs with just who you are in general and sets you free into more abundance with, pretty much just being you. So there is a new chapter though. So follow the passion. Make sure you're directing your passion in the right direction because this is a new beginning with money and just a new beginning with stability and kind of you becoming into that, going back into that younger version of yourself almost, where you will have so much more creativity and freedom and just like, yeah, just how you feel when you're younger. You feel so much more freer and released from, bullshit that happened, like that has happened. Okay. All right. So let's go to Gemini. Hi, Gemini. Okay, so this is a dynamic, exciting new beginning in the 11th house, and that has to do with your friends, your networks, your communities, social causes. This could give you a lot of like inspiring ideas for your hopes and dreams and visions for the future, but it would be something completely new, like anything that you kind of like intuitively get right now. It could be very pioneering. It could be very kind of groundbreaking, especially with, this Saturn stuff going on in your 10th house. You could kind of like renovate your career, in some way. But yeah, you're going to be feeling a strong desire to kind of go after your hopes and dreams for the future. And, this is kind of a really lucky energy. Like if you meet somebody randomly around this time, it could kind of open up your world in a whole new way that you really never thought was possible. But yeah, the sextile to Uranus You're definitely getting some just downloads and insights with what is going to be an abundant new direction. So pay attention to any groundbreaking ideas that you might have. Be open to random social opportunities. If there's anybody that you're not really vibing with, not getting along with in, the 11th house, then maybe it's time to like release them because you're just being pushed towards like people that are empowering, people that are inspiring. With Neptune going in there, it's like people that are artists, people that are creative, spiritual people. Um, yeah, dreamers, big, big dreamers. So look for, influential people or whoever you really want to be around, whoever inspires you. That's going to be the most important thing. And, just don't get into any pettiness or fights with this because you want to use this energy for you. You either want to use this energy for like, making your biggest hopes and dreams like happen or, making friends or going out to events or a party, So like really be open to all the random opportunities though, because I feel like the 11th house, it is so random sometimes. It is, very future oriented. It is very break out of the box kind of vibe. So anything like that that lights your fire, that could be the direction. So know that you are abundant. It's all about you just knowing that you're abundant in your self-worth. Maybe being in your divine feminine energy too. You're majorly creating and you're tuning into, your third eye. Actually, I love the eye that's like in her heart. So you're listening to your heart though. Like, even though like it's an eye and it's in her heart, it's like, yeah, listening to your third eye in your heart to create and go in the right direction and being 100% in flow with the universe. So yeah, there definitely might be somebody like acting out in your friendship group or, maybe even at work or whatever. Oh, by the way, oops. Okay, this could be a whole new beginning with like career gains too. So just realize that money could be coming your way randomly also. But yeah, anyone that you have to let go of, they're just like that. That wouldn't be the direction that you would like progress in any way too. So definitely don't hold on to any, foundations. Even if it's like a childhood friend or something close, like South Node in the fourth house. Sometimes you let go of close relationships and go through a little bit of a harder heartbreak, but it's because you're being pushed out into the world in a bigger way towards new connections, new people, new things. And it'll be exciting on the other side of it. So, let me get an animal card. So yeah, realize like it's not worth the pettiness. It's not worth getting fired up to in any stupid debates, especially. Really like know what you're passionate about, know what you want to create, and that's how you're going to be the most powerful. But you're going through a transformation. Oh yeah, duh, that's Mercury retrograde ruling you. You're going through a really big transformation. So let that happen, You're a social butterfly. And right now, yeah, you're introspecting in a major way, but you kind of have to, let this in because your ruler is going to be going over Neptune, over Venus, over the North Node, over Saturn, and you're changing internally in with your perspectives, with who you want to be in a very big way right now. So realize what just sets you free, what's going to bring you this, beautiful transformation from a caterpillar into a butterfly and start heading in that direction or just have that internal shift within you and don't let anybody like weigh you down or hold you back from this beautiful transformation. All right, thank you so much, Gemini. Hi, Cancer. All right. So this is all about, I love the ninth house because it's kind of like whenever, major transits happen here, your whole life gets aligned in a certain way. So this is oh wait, 10th house. Never mind. Sorry, not ninth house. But still really, really good. But this is a whole new beginning when it comes to your hopes and dreams. and your career, your long-term goal, your legacy. It's something that's going to kind of take a while, and you're going through a really big shift here where there's going to be a lot of new. So, a new beginning. Maybe you're getting promoted, maybe you're taking on more responsibility. That might be more so later this year with Saturn going in here, but if your career's not right, if you've been feeling a little aggressive there, a little like, just frustrated, if you're not feeling that fire, if you're not feeling that ambition, then maybe it's time to switch things up because there's a new beginning, yeah, with your career, reputation, public life, your legacy, long-term goals, and you want to get aligned with that in a big way. And Neptune is going to help dissolve anything that's like not aligned with that. So this is your time to really stand in your power. If people are talking or people are annoyed, like let them talk. You just gotta be empowered by you. You gotta know what you want to achieve and what you want to go towards because you're moving towards your greater destiny. And you do have a pile up in this ninth house though, with being aligned with your meaning and purpose. And the North Node is there. So and that is where your whole life kind of falls into place. And you have a lot of luck and you're on your Dharma timeline and everything. So really move in alignment with your beliefs and that vision that you have, and you can be very powerful. But you could become an entrepreneur, take some sort of like big, bold career leap that would actually really pay off right now. Um, it would, it's really, yeah, abundant looking. So yeah, look for any new opportunities. If there's a new job, if you want to launch a business, if you want to take the leadership role, like you're going to be able to do it for sure. If you want to switch companies, so there's room to expand, I would definitely suggest that. If you're on social media, you could be getting, or just like in the public, you could be getting more recognition, more visibility. And this is the time if you want to reinvent your image in any way, this would be a good time to do that. And focus on creation, not competition. I keep on saying that to, everybody, because our whole society like is based on that masculine energy of competition, and fight everybody to get to the top. But like if it was all based on creation, then that is more of the healthy masculine energy. Uh, that, would save our society, actually. And I'm not, you know, under like stating save. So be open to any, opportunities that potentially come your way and set some intentions for your long-term goals. Wow, giant cards that it's taking forever for me to shuffle because it's taking forever to come out because only giant mega cards wanted to come out. But that makes sense. This is the very beginning of a massive change. This is the house of like marriage too. You could be getting married. You could, meet someone very serious. And that all helps, when you're aligned with your meaning and purpose to find people along that same direction. Um, but yeah, know know how you want to lead out in the world, what you want to be known for, and then you're going the right way. So Queen of Wands, yep, you're just stepping into that bold feminine energy, knowing who you are, what you want, not being afraid. The Queen of Wands will literally like just blaze her own whole new trail. She'll make a trail instead of following anybody else's trails. And you're insanely intuitive. So it's time to do that. Also, the Hierophant came out, something about commitment, in relationships, and you're going through a whole new cycle with that. So know that any relationships that you haven't really been shining your full authentic self out into the world, because this is going to make you just be more of just like who you really truly authentically are out in the world with like less apologies. Realize like who you might have not been like being just courageously like full blown like yourself out with because those might be some of the relationships that you might be letting go of because to get these soulmate connections into your life, you have to be, the zebra. You have to be that like shiny, full-on version of yourself. And then Six of Cups came out. So shiny, just amazing relationships, soulmate relationships want to come in your way that like your shine, they're going to see you and they're going to be like, oh, hey, like we probably knew each other in a past life and let's get the party started. So yeah, the crow, you got to follow your wisdom. There's your innate wisdom is guiding you into the unknown, into this new path. So you can be excited about it. You can feel that fire. You can know who and what you want to commit to. And it's kind of like you're deciding what how you what you want to commit to now. Because with the ninth house, it's like a lot of old beliefs dissolved, limiting beliefs about yourself or the world or your worldview. And now it's giving you a stronger foundation with what you believe in, so you can make this magic happen. Because you're making magic happen in a whole new way now. And you could be famous with Neptune that's going to be entering the 10th house and everything. So think that big. Think really, really big. Because the wheel came out. A whole new chapter of luck and abundance and prosperity and being on, the right path. And that's what's happening. So yeah. Um, Oh yeah, so Uranus, maybe if there's any friends that get set free, that is for the best. It doesn't look like it's like bad. It just looks like, you know, you're aligning with this path and you're motivated with it, and they're, doing something random and doing something else. So that's exciting. But you can have also at the same time a lot of friends or random people or groups that come into your life at this time that like is randomly supportive that they have the same vision and you can immediately like kind of build together. So I love that. I mean, that looks like really, really good. All right, thank you, Cancer. Okay, Leo, let's see. Hi, Leo. You're getting a big, fiery, lucky boost, and I can't understate that because, oh my gosh, we're finally coming out of the dark ages. Like with all the stuff that was in Pisces, we're finally getting that fiery boost. And, this is a very lucky area of life. The ninth house is all about our beliefs, our meaning and purpose in life. It's like, and we're going to be able to really just release so many beliefs or anything that was really holding us back so we can embody more of that highest version of ourselves. We are the ones mostly out of all the signs actually with this that is, stepping into that highest expansion of our higher selves. And that is more like that person that was in the golden age. It's like, I think we might even, just be going first, because we're like kind of leading. Um, so it's, we've done so much clearing out and clearing of the past and clearing of, old relationship patterns and whatever else this eighth house stuff is. So we freed ourselves. So it's time now to get in tune with the light. This is a big new beginning with exploration, kind of opening up to the world in a whole new way. Um, kind of tapping into your courage and following what you're passionate about. And it could be like, it could be a spiritual path. It could be like, like anything that you're interested in learning too, like go in that direction. You could be going to school, but or you could be traveling. That could be all of those are just major ways that it changes your worldview. Knowledge is power. The more wisdom that you have, the more power that you have, the more that you give yourself the tools and just the access to be able to create your whole world that would be more so in tune with the vision that you prefer versus like letting anybody else kind of lock you down into like one religion or one way of thinking. So you have to create your life from that way of thinking. So really see like how you've restrained yourself in any way when it comes to certain like restrictions with beliefs or cultures, because you can really like just set yourself free. You're really more so tuning into your divine imprint, within, and seeing what really resonates with you. Because you're going to be on fire, following more of your passion, following more of your interests, and finding what's true to you. It's less about what anybody else thinks is true, what's true. Everyone's truth is different. Everyone's right, actually. But like, we all have our own truth, and that's what you're really tuning into. So you got to trust what you're feeling right now, because your intuition with this, like it's like luck intuition. You're going to be following um just your like your gut instinct and just that pulse. And Sagittarius energy is like very like just that excitement, that passion, that adventure, that freedom, that like wow, like excitement. It's just opens up your hold in a whole new way. Like trust that, go in that direction, because that's going to kind of lead you onto your Dharma timeline. Because it could easily take you to something that's like larger than anything that you've ever really thought, anywhere you thought you would go before. If you really trust it, and if you really, tune into it, you can allow yourself to like be that fullest embodiment of you, in that fullest expression of you. So you can like trust yourself to kind of go and explore and adventure. And it's like a fun adventure too. Um, and if you don't let yourself do that, you might be feeling a little restless. You're going to want to break out of some boundaries in some way, especially with this energy, because you have to. It's not just for you. Like it's for like a bigger purpose. Being on your Dharma timeline is for everyone. It's not just for you. It's for so you go on your journey so you can like spread knowledge and be at the right place and be at the right time for people. And yeah, let yourself be adventurous. Realize the status quo isn't going to work. And this is a destined pathway, like you're just seeing the very beginning of it. The full pathway will take, a little bit of time to unfurl, and it is kind of like a spiritual adventure anyway. But just know where you want to go now, because you don't want to hold yourself back from it. Um, so many like, okay. So yeah, it seems like maybe some Leos, I guess, is where we might be a little like logical or something. We might be holding ourselves back and not like speaking our full truth or our authenticity. And there's a way we need to just definitely still let go of the past, I guess, like all this eighth house stuff, just a little bit more healing. But that's so we can like be open to that. The more healing that we do, the more just we set ourselves free, the more we're getting in tune with our true core and essence. And when spirit's talking, like when we're really intuitively listening to spirit, it is always going to be peaceful. It's always going to be calm and compassionate. It's never going to be the fear and the anxiety and all of that. Um, so it's kind of like knowing that you have the knowledge to kind of go create what you really want to create. And yeah, like it's okay for you to step up again and be a little bit cocky or ballsy and like go and, and do that. We're really getting our fire back in such a new way right now. So know like there is a exciting new horizon, and, we don't want to, we're not going to be able to avoid it. We got to go towards it. And, it's kind of like the fox's journey. The fox's journey is very windy. Like it's not, they're over here, they're over there. They like go on their own path. And, but they end up there. And there's going to be a little bit anxiety at first. For some reason, the little rabbit came out. So it's like, if you listen to everybody else's beliefs instead of your own beliefs, like, you know, I think the rabbit talked about the hawk, like about that the hawk would swoop up and like eat him. And the hawk's like, oh, thank you for the idea. So don't get into like mindless, like, gossip, I guess, and everything. Because there's like a whole new path. Let me see. Oh my God, like I don't even know what else is this message? Come here. What else? Yeah, for some reason the challenge is like I don't know. I think Leo's definitely got to get used to like accepting that they are like lucky again too, and that they are radiant. They are like, bold, and it's time to really step into that again. Even though like these are shaky times and everything, but you can listen to like the peanut gallery and everything and oh, Aquarius, that's what it is. Yeah, listen to these intense relationships that might be trying to like might be having a power hold under you anyway. Like there's going to be so many subtle ways that we see about relationships, and it's almost like so subconscious and unintent. Like they're not intentionally doing it; they're subconsciously doing it. But it's like catching on to those like similar loops and patterns that happen, so we can like realize like where they're just like maybe trying to keep us to themselves or something like that. But yeah, it seems like there's some relationships that can be let go of, that maybe you took on too much responsibility for, and really knowing what you want. Because you have to shine in a whole bold new way with Pluto and Aquarius. You have to always come back to yourself and your light and not care what everyone else thinks. Because it can get a little intense, but the more that you're in your heart and you're uh, in line with your meaning and purpose, and you're doing things for the highest good of all, then the more you have that fire to like go do what you're supposed to do, the more that you can tap into that courage and bravery to manifest, your best dreams and to broaden your horizon. Anything else? Yeah, so get out of any fights. If there's any fights going on, if there's any power struggles, realize who needs to be let go of, who you need to move on from, because you can't listen to the scared little rabbits anymore that are just keeping you in the lower chakras. Because I think, you might even be more awakened, with this going on. I feel like you've all Leos got pretty awakened with all this eighth house stuff. And now like, but it's like luck awakening to kind of be the fox now and go on that crazy adventurous path to show people, how it can be done. All right. And yeah, release anything, when it comes to like the past in general with the eighth house stuff, because you can have a lot of breakthroughs. The more that you release that and you just, have that unconditional love again, the more you can have more breakthroughs just out in the world with more abundance, with doing what you love and more aligned with like who you're actually authentically supposed to be out in the world. All right. Thank you, Leo. Okay, Virgo. Yeah, this is in the eighth house, so this is definitely a Phoenix rising moment. You're going through a big transformation at the beginning of it where you're going to be releasing all your internal blockages in a whole new way. You're going to go through this deep internal transformation. So it's going to be important to be, get familiar with and Neptune's kind of like Jupiter though, because when Jupiter goes through the eighth house, like the release just happens, you set yourself free and you kind of clear out your chakras so you can embody more of your highest self and everything. So wherever you're feeling anxiety before, you might be feeling that fire, you might be feeling that like, intensity because the eighth house is very intense. And sometimes when we feel intense, we can take it out on our closest relationships um, or yeah, just people close to us in general. But realize like these might be like deeper triggers that, need to be released. Like you need to be courageous now with removing the internal blockages and realize if what's stopping you from doing anything that you really want to do. But this is also the area of life that's about intimacy, so you can really open up to new ways of intimacy in your relationship, and like, because this is really getting fired up in a whole new way. So you might like want way more intimacy and want more depth and might want to, meld with somebody like mind, body, spirit. Um, this is also about shared resources. So really having any of those conversations so you feel empowered when it comes to shared resources. So, there is an equal like give and take, in your relationships. But it looks like majorly you're just facing what's hidden. There's beliefs or a point of view, any beliefs or any point of view that like you were stuck on that gave you anxiety, you're definitely being freed from that. And just this is like, yeah, a nice fiery freedom. And yeah, I like that. And that's going to give you like a lot of evolution. Psychologically, it'll let you evolve. You're like kind of the phoenix rising, you're the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. It's setting yourself free. But you can, and sometimes we set ourselves free just by having those conversations, when it comes to intimacy or shared resources. But we can talk about, find more of a balance when it comes to loans and investments, inheritances, debts, taxes, joint ventures. You can negotiate in a very fierce way right now. So recognize any talks that you need to have about that, because that can actually be very powerful right now if you need to like renegotiate a mortgage or something. Very, very powerful. And then also with finding just facing those power struggles in relationships, because we're constantly evolving out of power struggles in relationships. So we both become better people. And, we face any attachment wounds, like any fears or any anxieties with that. And we can have, breakthroughs towards more love and everything. But if there are any stagnant bonds like in your life or, stagnant relationships, then this is when you would kind of set yourself free. Anything that's stagnant, like stagnant energy can't exist here anymore. So, like, the eighth house, you do make big life changes. You do, like, cut something out completely. You cut out an old identity. You cut out, old power struggle, old obsessions. There can be just, endings that really set you free in a whole way, like a partnership, a financial chapter, clearing out debts, just whatever you need to be liberated from is what can definitely happen, but it's all for your empowerment. So you can let this like the new energy flow in, and you might be going through a Kundalini awakening too with Neptune going in there. At some point, definitely with Neptune in the eighth house. So yeah, it looks like with you facing your anxieties, like this is where you just like sleep, and you're just tense because like for whatever reason, I have a South Node in Virgo, so I can relate. Um, and then like it literally just has to do with beliefs, something that you were firm on, something that you were stuck on. But the more that you just hold like whatever belief that is and kind of like look at it, then you set yourself free. You actually empower yourself by going through the shadows. And that's what you're doing now. Because, yeah, strength came out on the other side, and strength is always strong by doing the tough things. Like you do what's hard, you face the shadows, you go to the gym, like you do the hard things so you become stronger. So don't ignore the harder things that you have to do, like the shadow work or, um, deep research into occult stuff like human design or astrology or psychological stuff to really set you free. Do that kind of work so you can set yourself free and emotionally liberate yourself. Um, you can liberate yourself from any toxic dynamics, so you can really just like, yeah, like go after what you really want to go after. That's the whole point. You're going to want to go after those deeper relationships, after those desires and everything. So yeah, there's going to be just a lot that was hidden even to you though. So you don't even know what to take action fully towards yet. But when it hits you, it hits you and it's going to hit you. It's going to be like this little like cup of emotion, like, oh, like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit deeper in a way. And like it's uncovering more of my unconscious, more of myself. So that's, good, exciting. And just give it a little bit of time, but it looks like, yeah, King of Wands came out reversed. So it's like, give it time to take the lead in this direction and everything. Don't act impulsively when it comes to like cutting off a relationship or cutting out, making financial decisions, especially while Venus and Mercury are retrograde. Let it like, do that deep introspection first before any making any bold moves, but you'll know when it's time because the sun came out and it's like purifying all the anxiety and the some of the ego, so you can really be in true alignment with your soul and your soul's purpose, and take the lead in this powerful new creative direction actually. All right, thank you so much, Virgo. Oh, hi, Libra. This is a very exciting one for you. This is a very powerful new beginning in your seventh house of relationships. So, yeah, your relationship sector is getting fired up to the max. And this could be, this could be marriage, this could be relationships, relationships of all kinds. So, this could be business, this could be friendships, this could be, close friends, close, family members, any relationships that's close. Like you're going to have to like, become a whole new bold version of yourself in these relationships. And you're kind of on that journey already with Venus that rules you, retrograde in the sixth house and in the seventh house. So you might right now be like really discovering like, do I do too much work around the house or too much work at work? And really seeing where you need to, speak up for yourself and find more of a balance moving forward. Um, so there can be like people coming into your life right now too. Like, if you are single, you could have a very solid connection come into your life and you're healing wounds still, with this Chiron and Aries. Yeah, this Chiron. So there might be some challenges from work or an authority figure or, someone just out in the world that's like, just like giving you a little bit of an emotional like ting, you know? But that's so you can like heal wounds when it comes to relationships. And if you've been moody just at work in general or out in the world, like that's gonna lessen a bit with Mars. That's gonna be finally leaving your 10th house. It'll be much more, active, proactive, I think, in the 11th house. But I mean, it's just been in Cancer for so long. Like, it needs to get out of there. So, but realize that things are coming to the surface, and past hurts from past heartbreak could be coming to the surface. You got to realize that and not let it stop you because you're learning how to love in a whole new way, in an unconditional way with Neptune that's entering the seventh house. The dream relationship wants to happen for you. You need to have that ideal relationship in mind with what you want to experience because you can experience that. Um, but it's up to you to really not settle and not get too rose-colored glasses or tunnel visioned into a certain relationship, Um, and it's really important to be, learn how to assert yourself first, because I know sometimes Libras have a hard time doing that. But yeah, let things come to the surface because this is a big new beginning. And, there can be changes. You could be moving on from someone. You could be getting into a relationship. You could be evolving in a relationship, moving in, getting married. And anything that you're doing, it is all for your highest good too. Um, so know that if a relationship hasn't been going well, then you might be setting yourself free, but a soul connection will definitely come in. I was just telling Virgos, or Justin Baldoni, like, he's like super in love, happily married, just ideal like relationship and cute family and all of that. He's a Virgo rising. He just went through Neptune in the seventh house. So you have to know that you can make the best like story, happen when it comes to your love life. And you got to claim your autonomy with what you want in a relationship first to have that best relationship. So, we're constantly evolving out of old relationship issues, and you can look at your IQ and EQ and human design, to see like how you can raise the frequency of your relationship issues, but also, of course, look at your seventh house and where your seventh house ruler is to see like what you deal with when it comes to your relationships in general. Because that's going to be very important to know. So, because when you do have Neptune here in the rose-colored glasses, like what challenges you might face, but you don't clearly see. And yeah, either way, we are all going through soulful lessons, and we learn the most through relationships. So know that emotions can be amplified right now. Don't immediately break up or anything. Don't like let the triggers like really get to you right now. Because this is actually helping you. Any trigger is definitely really helping you right now. Um, there can also be new clients, new marketing strategies, but all of these relationships you're going to want to grow and evolve with. And that's going to be a very important thing. Um, okay. So yeah, it looks like where you've been hiding yourself, that needs to come out because that's your authentic self. And that's your gifts that you really need to share with, not only in your relationships, but with the world. And there's going to be people I think that are bold and courageous that help you like express some of these gifts. Because Pluto in the fifth house, that's, your gifts and your creativity, it needs to be expressed and everything. And like, yeah, there's just a nice sextile to this, like these areas of life. So recognize where there's past heartache, be thankful for whoever kind of points out where that wound was, because yeah, it's going to point you in the direction of the lovers. The lovers came out, and this is the most powerful soulmate card in the deck. So there's definitely a lover coming your way, strong soulmate connections. But the challenge is you got to realize where you've been wasting your time and your energy, where you've putting your time and energy where it hasn't been paying off, and start making the decisions. And yeah, there's just going to be stuff that you haven't seen before and that you won't really see in general. But the more that you can trust yourself and certain relationships that are like really ride or dies, then, you can be very solid in these relationships too. Um, Let me see. What is the Two of Swords? At the same time, I guess, let's see. What is this Two of Swords? Yeah, just balance, have balance with what you're not seeing and don't feel the need to like escape, I guess, every dilemma because there is always like something to learn in, a dilemma. Three of Wands came out reversed. So make sure you just like take a beat, take a pause, find some balance. You gotta majorly balance out the spiritual and the physical now when it comes to relationships. You can't just look at them from your ego, and just say, oh, they have this job, they live here, they went to this school, they, yada, yada, yada. That doesn't matter anymore as much. Like that, like it's a deeper soulful connection that really, really is going to matter now. And that's who, you're going to be able to commit to for the long term. So yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, and what will help you where you're not seeing things, I guess, with the Two of Swords, not seeing, each other's point of view or just not seeing your partner clearly. You could put them up on a pedestal sometimes, and not like see the full real them until like, like take them off the pedestal or it's just time, until you learn whatever lesson. But I think some spiritual knowledge can really definitely help you, through the rose-colored glasses in relationships. Because yeah, you got to give yourself that esoteric knowledge to really see and to know and all of that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. Very exciting. Get empowered with these relationships. Hi, Scorpio. How's it going? Okay, so this is a big new beginning when it comes to your health, your diets, your routine, your exercise. Um, Basically your physical health and your work. And you're going to be coming up with routines in your daily life and just be empowered to like really have a new beginning with what really works. What is empowering for you? What makes your body feel good? What routine makes you feel good? You can revamp your schedule. You can really start a fitness challenge. You can cut out any habits that aren't like helping you manifest your bigger dreams and goals. Um, this is also where you would maybe see like if you've been overly responsible for other people's work, or if you haven't been like standing up for yourself, then this is the time where you would like speak up and really, empower yourself. Because there is, some wounds maybe from Mars in the ninth house, like some sort of beliefs, and maybe you're powering through certain beliefs that um, are triggered by like work, and work people, I guess. So you can actually like go and expand and broaden your worldview, even more so. So recognize any wounds that pop up that might actually empower you when it comes to your everyday life. Um, but yeah, if you're stuck in a boring job, like this is just getting fired up even more. Like this could bring in a job that's like, really empowering and really like exciting, but you have to be open to looking for it if you want to look for, a new job. But yeah, this could be you being an entrepreneur too. You could launch a new project, knowing what you want to be responsible for. So cutting out like the busy work and where you have been doing maybe a lot of work and just not getting a lot of traction, that's what you would cut out now. So you can focus your time and your energy and, have responsibilities where you really want them. And self-empowerment is the most important thing with this energy. So yeah, it's all about how you feel. Sometimes I know you can power through and really not pay attention to how you're feeling, but it's really time for you to really get in touch with how you're feeling, and how you want to feel in your everyday life. You want your everyday life to be very empowering and magical. So it does just take maybe a release of some sort of heartache where you felt like you had to take on responsibility and work and, work almost too much, or some sort of wounds like that, where you're getting back into your heart again. And when you get back into your heart, you are seeing the new ways of making abundance that's more so in alignment with you and headed towards like this 10 of cups, which is your hopes and dreams and visions for the future. And you're realizing that you can manifest abundance and you can have work and life that is abundant, but not like that's not going to drain you at the same time. You're prioritizing yourself now. You're not going to do like overly do it. So make sure you do have this transformation because you can be abundant and work less too. It literally is all about having those creative breakthroughs and letting yourself delegate and all of that. Because I love like Saturn making a sextile to Uranus. There can be people that come into your life that are really helpful and really beneficial that expand your world in some way. And also just a lot of creative breakthroughs. If you are an entrepreneur, this is really, really, good. And the raccoon came out. So talented, shadowy and hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within artists to the greater or lesser degrees at its best. It indicates talent, tendency, and skillfulness in with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. The shadow side of points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. That's majorly happening for you right now. So like wherever you're feeling that creative pull, wherever you're feeling like, it feels good. Like it feels like you can express your heart. It feels like, just abundant to your soul. Like that is the direction to go in. That is what's going to lead you to a lot of prosperity and a lot of stability. And yeah, you just gotta heal any wounds where you feel like you gotta put on a mask and not be that full creative you that you really came here to be. So you're going to be going through a bit of a transformation. But once you kind of get empowered with living and creating the life that you really want to live every single day, like this transformation can happen in a very easy way. All right, thank you much. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Hi, Sagittarius. This is a big, fiery new beginning in your fifth house. So, this is your self expression. This is your creativity. This is dating. This is romance. This is love. A big new beginning here. So, um, with love, if you're in a relationship, this could be really evolving your love story, knowing what more of what you want when it comes to passion and excitement and just like adventure even. And yeah, it is kind of like the new, it is like a new adventure, kind of a new thing to do, like really like that spark again. And if your relationships are stale, then this would be, this would kind of bring more of a challenge. This would be like, yeah, this would maybe bring a separation from a lover, but it seems like there would be another, kind of lover that would be coming in. It is very fated, it is destined, and yeah, you can have a very, big new beginning. Um, and it's just fate and destiny. I don't know. But yeah, you're going to have more bravery and just like courage and boldness to really express yourself in new ways. And, it's really important, I think, for Sagittarius to get into something creative because Neptune going in here, there's going to be a lot of energy. And yeah, you want to create something, any creative projects. And creating does involve like entrepreneurship too. But starting something that's yours that you can work on that feels really fulfilling is the direction that you want to go in. And it might be something just completely new, something that you know, whatever industry you're in needs. Um, you can really look for just the opportunities. And you might have to learn a little bit too. The Ten of Pentacles came out, so maybe it's something like a little less like traditional. And it is like more futuristic and everything. But yeah, follow your passion that is taking you in the right direction. Don't be as like logical about it. But know that yeah, this creative boost can go towards art, music, poetry, kind of whatever, your business. Lucky things will go your way because like this is a lucky house too. So, you could get money randomly that comes your way. Um, you could get a promotion even. You could get like a rise in social media. But yeah, really be in your joy, be in your fun, because when you are in tune with that and you're leading with your heart and you're letting your heart open, that's what magnetizes like the right relationships to you and everything. Relationships do help you open up your heart and magnetize all the other good things to you. Um, so yeah, know like following your happiness and following like what really opens your heart is kind of the way to go. And yeah, some of you Sagittarius just might be going through like a big release when it comes to um, some sort of past foundation. The fourth house, there's all of this in the fourth house right now. So it's like letting go of like home and family stuff and, deep, deep cleansing of the past. And this might be, past traditions or values, but that's just all so you can like be really free and really set the tone with what you value now, what works for you. And yeah, because you're creating just more of what you love in your life and what you're passionate about. And this is going to maybe set you on this like passionate new kind of an adventure. Two of Wands came out. So that's like a passionate new direction, passionate exploration. Definitely not, yeah, King of Swords came out. What is this King of Swords? Don't be too logical about it, but whatever direction you're kind of getting pulled into, I guess. Yep, the world came out. Big new chapter, big new beginning. And yeah, you might be getting a lot of, oh yeah, that's what it is. A lot of creative downloads, a lot of creative insights to really like implement. And you can be definitely set free from, some sort of work. Like this could be work around the house, this could be some sort of routines that don't serve you anymore, but you're finding the flow in your internal core with what's really right for you. So you can like be very more so grounded in your core and with your intuition and in co-creation with the universe and the universal flow in harmony with all that is. So you can create abundance in a much easier way. So listen to the ideas that you're getting, because that is what's opening up the world in a whole new way. To you. And yeah, King of Swords came out. So like, but this King of Swords is like electrified. He's like definitely awakening. Oh yeah, that's you might be going through a Kundalini awakening too, like pretty fast with Neptune going in the fifth house and everything. So pay attention to where you're just like awakening and where the energy is and what you need to commit to next. Because with Saturn moving into the fifth house, you definitely need to commit to whatever you're creating. And yeah, kind of let that take the lead. But you're on your fun timeline. I mean, it sounds like, whatever, but yeah, that's what you got to do to go in the right direction. You got to have fun. So, yeah, and it looks like there's certain power struggles with relationships that can be uncovered during this time, but that's just so you can have, better dynamics and maybe deepen your love even more so. Go do something new and random and fun to kind of like, yeah. Zebra came out. So yeah, you're finding your full creative expression. And that, then you can really totally embody that full authentic version of you. And when you do that, you attract like other people that are just like a lot like you too and like your flair, like your zest, and yeah, it's just you radiating more of your authenticity is going to be the most powerful thing. So yeah, very exciting, Sagittarius. Let me get one more about. Let's see, one more about the power struggle. Um, Yeah, it's just heartache, facing death, facing like past wounds, because Chiron's still here. And oh, yeah, duh. Okay, Mars in the eighth house. It is like not letting those deep, deep wounds like really trigger you. Because this can give you a lot more like just stability with relationships moving forward. You're healing wounds with self-expression, your creativity. Your like yeah sex and just intimacy, like that's all being massively triggered right now. So realize like when that go to that deep core of when that heartache happens so you can really free yourself from that. But yeah, this is a slow down time, slow down Sagittarius time, so you can really I mean we're about to speed up, but yeah, like just right now like you've had to slow down and really face like that inner core of you so you can be grounded kind of wherever you go and kind of realize that abundance within you because that's where the abundance is. All right, thank you so much, Sagittarius. Hi, Capricorn. This is a new beginning with your home and your family and your foundation. You're really having an internal like transformation, internal revolution. Your inner fire is being lit up. And, you might be sensing like just who's around you. You're going to be very psychically sensitive with like who's in your home, who's around you. And this might be causing you to have a new beginning with your home, your family, your foundation, your emotional foundation. And yeah, you can maybe you want to move really suddenly, actually. Things are coming in really fast and you're kind of awakening at that core level. And maybe, yeah, maybe you do want to make a change in the home. This would be a good time to renovate the home, to really change things around, redecorate, start a fresh vibe, buy or sell a home. But yeah, in another way, this is majorly making you take a really deep look at the deep past in childhood so you can really set yourself free in a way because it looks like you're getting ready to move fast and you're just getting that fire in your core. But first, you need to be, set free in a way where maybe mentally you kind of blocked yourself off from things. Um, this can be a major time where you're just healing like from the past and family patterns and dynamics. And, bring your lineage, basically. You're the one, you're the goat, you're going to be freeing your lineage and breaking generational cycles. So it's your life. You get to live it how you want to live it. You get to live where you want to live. You're going to be able to, be very, very lucky with like moving to where you really want to live. So, if you want to move, this would be a great time to kind of look. But know like this is a great time to just declutter in general. Um, really set boundaries with anybody that lives with you or family if you need to. But no, you definitely have to like listen to your inner voice even more. And you're going to be psychic with like family too. You're really going to be tuned into everyone like in your personal life. Okay, so yeah, you're moving fast and you're getting a lot of like quick ideas. And I do like this too, how Saturn's like making a sextile to the Uranus in the fifth house. You can have a lot of creative breakthroughs and everything. A lot of like creative breakthroughs that bring more fun and excitement into your life and your everyday life. But this definitely looks like if you're a writer or if you do anything creative, there can be just so many ideas, like a flood of ideas. So really be open to like listening, and yeah, make sure you're listening to your emotions and not logicking out your emotions because it's time for you to really, really tune in because otherwise you'll explode or like implode, one of those. Um, but what this is doing, this is leading you towards the Four of Wands, which is a home, family, and foundation that is full of like community and people that you love and celebration and kind of like your soul fractal, people that you just vibe with. And also high level soulmate connections like twin flames. You know, it is rare that you get to live with a twin flame but high level soulmate connection either way. And then Two of Cups came out. So like a soulmate, strong soulmate connection. So if you're, needing to move or feeling that urge, that's probably why. Like, and if you're wanting love, like definitely like follow that urge, kind of see where it takes you. Because it looks like it's taking you towards a lot. All right. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Hi, Aquarius. This is a big new beginning when it comes to your everyday life and your routines. Like whatever you do in your everyday life. Third house is like short distance trips, it's errands, it's social media, it's you know, yeah, like yeah, whatever you do, like the people in your community, the people you work with, whatever you do in your everyday life, that's what's getting a fiery new beginning. So you might be rescheduling things, you might be figuring out a better way to communicate. You might have a lot of miscommunication during this time with the retrograde that you have to like come back to. You could have a new beginning with siblings. But I love this too, because this is majorly powering up your voice with Mercury that is at 0 degrees. You are finding your voice in a bold new way, and you are authentic and you are empowering yourself, and you can empower others. And your mind's heart connection is so much stronger. You're speaking from the heart, and you're bold and you're courageous. And yeah, this would be a powerful time to like learn something new or, read something that helps you really shift your perspective in some way. But yeah, you're really, being assertive now. Like if you've been passive before, like this is where you're really like asserting yourself and just saying what's on your mind and not holding back. And your mind could also be moving like a lot faster. So if you're doing anything creative like writing, speaking, teaching, social media stuff, you're receiving a lot of downloads. Like you could be a writer, you could be definitely a storyteller, you could start a podcast, you can start a blog, you can yeah, learn something new. Anything that kind of like kind of opens up your mind, because it's time to really have an empowering mindset. So know what you need to leave behind in the past. Like, at the same time with Neptune going into the third house, you can be very melancholic too. Melancholy. So it's really important to be empowered with your philosophies and your beliefs and maybe have a spiritual practice every day. Um, and then release, there's might be some conversations that you have that bring up like some sort of heartache, but that's to kind of realize like where you might have like lost your voice, where you might have started like people pleasing. But yes, because you're finding people to really be on your side and be like, so yeah, if there's ruffled feathers right now, and if people are getting a little offended or something randomly, you're just being aligned with people that are more like going in your same direction and everything. So speak up, speak your truth. At the same time, like don't be rude or an a-hole, I guess, but and realize like just the past wounds that might be coming up, and you're going through a transformation in general. You are stepping up as a pretty powerful leader, and you got to realize like how much like of an impact your voice really does have. Um, so really find that balance, find that balance with people and what you love, and make more time to do what you love, I guess, versus being like too logical and too like, there for everybody. Like you got to be empowered to do your projects and do what you want to do. And you could be starting a new project during this time. And that would be really powerful actually. Because I love how Saturn sextile Uranus, it's like whatever, money opportunity that you're running into, a money opportunity could be coming in right now, but it gives you like a lot of stability and more of a foundation, and breaks out of maybe generational patterns from, yeah, the lineage and all of that. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Oh wait, animal card. Animal card. Let's do an animal card. Cobra. Oh man. Cobra and yeah, Cobra waits to strike. So you're like very intelligent. Don't like let the whatever hurt happens from random people, random conversations, like get you out of character. The Cobra, pausing, waiting, inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers, watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those, especially guides who have led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Yep. You're either going to be teaching or learning something with this too. And that's really important because that will empower you overall to, yep, create. All right. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Hi, Pisces. A lot is already happening for you because you have this stellium in your first house. But a lot more is going to happen for you with this, which is very exciting. So there's a big new beginning in your second house, which all has to do with your resources, your income, what you really need that supports you in this life. And we all have different like levels of what we need. Like, do we need a giant car? Do we need a small car? Do we need small house? Do we need a big house? Like you get to decide, and that's what you get to decide now. And this can also be a very solid new beginning, an empowering new beginning when it comes to food too. So you can choose like a diet that's really like good for you and cut out anything like pretty easily that's bad for you. Um, but you can also be changing your values with what you want. You know, your values are very important because it's like, what do I value? What do I want more of in my life? So you recognize that, so you manifest more of that in your life. Um, so you can be very self-sufficient right now. You can, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can easily become an entrepreneur and totally put a ton of like energy into that and let it really like fly. Like the dream can happen with money, but you have to believe that the dream can happen with money. And like let yourself like be like go full steam ahead with your big dreams. You can also make money through creative pursuits a lot easier now. Creative endeavors, art, poetry, writings, anything creative. Um, you can also develop new income streams or just randomly come up with some ideas to make money. But yeah, what kind of lifestyle do you want? And like, what do you need? What resources do you need to live it, basically, is what you're getting in tune with. Um, and opportunities could be randomly coming your way that are very faded, like a new job, a new way to make money. This is a good time to really check your spending, but really check in. Yeah, if you're spending too much, if you need to spend uh, more or less, but you're really seeing like what you need for security. And you could also have a big fiery boost to your self-esteem during this time too. So Three of Pentacles, I love that. Collaborations, you're looking for people to work with. And that kind of makes sense. There can be random people in the community coming in with Saturn in the first house and you being out and about randomly and meeting people with Uranus in the third, and it leads to one thing to another thing and opportunities and yada yada. But the star like came out, so you have to be in tune with your vision. And Neptune is in your first house. Well, for a day after this, it's coming back for a little bit though. But with the North Node even in your first house, you realize you're magnetizing all the right opportunities to you. So it's about you being more so in tune with your vision and letting your heart attract everything into your life, because you want to build with the right people. And this is majorly about community for you. So Three of Cups came out, Three of Pentacles came out. You might be really building with like a small group and stuff, and realize that you can take the lead with whatever projects that you want, or taking the lead to lead people too. Let me get an animal card for you. You're taking the lead with making yourself abundant AF. The wolf came out. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, Fran. Okay. Um, okay, guardian or family tribe. Yeah, this is so much about like community for you because Jupiter's still in your fourth house. You're finding your community, you want your tribe to build with. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being of longevity and of the pack. The healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarianism efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets in trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps, although it will surely be uncomfortable at first. Practice tolerance helps balance out the agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. Yep. So, you are all loving, you are accepting of everything. And I think that's how you can open up to all the abundance that's really meant for you. Of course, like really like see who's all is out there, but really take like who you take the lead when it comes to doing what you want to do, you know, but be open still to receive all the opportunities. All right, thank you so much, Pisces. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. But I hope you enjoy this beautiful eclipse.